It's Mary Ellen from Learn Bridge Online. And I was talking to my friend Curt, and he was at a sectional recently, and he told me he had this awesome, interesting hand that dealt with slam bidding. And I wanted to kind of go through this hand with Curt because he said it was really a lot of fun to play. So, Curt, I'm so glad you're here.
Well, it's good to see you, Mary Ellen. Yeah, I did get out to a tournament recently, and suffice it to say, this hand was the talk of the tournament. At least on the day that folks played it. So I
Great.
figured it would be a fun one to share with everybody at Learn Bridge online and around the globe.
Perfect. Well, are you ready for me to bring that hand up?
Yeah, let's take a look.
Okay. Let's see. So what do we have for point? That's a lot of points down there. 20
Yeah,
and
just your everyday 23-point hand with 7-5 shape with your clubs and your hearts. Uh,
wow. Yeah. That is awesome. Like how often do you get a hand like that?
Not very often. And in fact, yeah, sometimes the fact that you get such a hand so rarely, and how many of us have talked to our partners about how to deal with a hand like this and what are our methods, right? There's a lot of room for accidents on a hand like this too.
I mean,
So
I'm kind of an intermediate beginner, but I was always told anything over 22 points you bid two clubs as
yeah,
a like you're showing your partner that you've got over 22 points. And I don't know if that's right.
so that would certainly be the normal thing to do, right? Any really powerful hand can start with two clubs as your forcing opening. And I thought about doing that. And I suspect that's what most people who picked this hand up did.
Ah,
But I started thinking about where this would go. And I thought, boy, if I bid two clubs, partner's probably going to bid two diamonds. And then I can bid my clubs, my longest suit. And then, partner will probably bid something else. And then I can try to get the hearts in. And, one of the difficult things about two club openers, it's probably one of our weaknesses in the standard American and 2-over-1 systems. Our bidding space just disappears so fast, right?
yes,
And I
it does.
envisioned this misfit hand that we were just going to eat up a lot of bidding space without likely resolution, and that I was probably going to end up doing some guessing at the final contract anyhow.
Yep. Yep.
So I actually didn't open two clubs.
What did you do?
Any guesses?
I'm guessing you opened some kind of heart, but at the level, I'm not quite sure where you opened
All
right
right.
away.
Well, here's what I did, and I'm sure this will blow everybody. I'm sure it certainly caught everybody's attention at the table. I opened seven
Wow.
clubs.
Wow. So you did, you went right for it. You just was, that's it.
Yeah, and sometimes bid what you think you can make is that approach has some merit. Now,
Yes.
I will tell you that when I opened seven clubs, I wasn't afraid that I wouldn't make the hand. What I was afraid of was that we had a heart fit, right?
Yep.
And I was playing a match point event, and I thought to myself, if I play seven clubs, even if it makes, if partner has heart support, we might belong in seven hearts, right?
Right.
So that was actually my concern.
The points. Absolutely. But
All right.
wow. Wow.
Well, so where did this go from here? So So West is on opening lead against my 7 club contract. And this is a pretty standard lead. You're certainly not obligated to lead a trump against a grand slam, but you've maybe heard that advice, right? That a trump
When in
lead,
Trump, what is it? When in doubt, Trump about. That's what I've heard.
not it's not so much a matter of doubt, it's more a matter of look, if your opponents have 13 tricks and it's a laydown slam, then your lead doesn't matter, right?
Ah,
But if they don't have all 13 off the top, then you don't want to hand them their 13th trick by perhaps picking a lead that will cost, right? And so by leading a trump, this is passive, right? It's a safe thing to do. If they need to find a 13th trick, let them do the work to find it, right?
right, right.
So on this trump lead, and I mean, look at this dummy, right? I mean, that's a great hand opposite a 2 club opener, and yet I can't get to the dummy.
Ah,
How am I getting to the board, right?
right.
I mean, by all rights, it looks like I have plenty of winners, but if I had gotten a diamond lead, I could be on the board with the ace of diamonds. But a spade lead doesn't help me. I have to win my singleton ace. A heart lead actually would help me for a reason we're going to talk about in a moment. But I got this trump lead, right? So, all right. Well, to make my grand slam, I need the clubs to be 3-2, right?
Right. You do.
That's the first hurdle. Now, the hearts are really good, but we don't know for sure if that 6 of hearts is going to set up, right?
Yes.
My plan was, if I didn't get this trump lead, I would play the ace of hearts. I would ruff my 6 of hearts with dummy's lone trump, and then I would come back to my hand and draw trump and claim, right? That would be my plan.
Right.
But I got a trump lead. And now I need the hearts to split friendly, right? I have 6 hearts between my hand and the dummy. There's 7 out there. I need them to be 4-3.
Yeah.
Because if one of my opponents has 5 hearts to the 10, I have a problem, don't I?
You sure do. Yes.
All
I'm
right.
dying to know what happened.
Well, so here's how things went. So
Yes.
obviously I needed to draw trumps. Okay, well, here came the jack.
Okay.
And then another trump here. And gee, it doesn't much matter what I pitch from the dummy, does it?
Oh,
So
right.
okay, everybody followed. There's the first hurdle cleared.
Yep.
So let's get the last trump drawn. I don't remember for sure what was thrown at this point. We'll throw a little diamond here.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Whew.
So my next thought was, now that I survived that, I need the hearts to break. But remember, the opponents don't know that I have 5 pretty good hearts, right?
Right.
And it would make me feel a lot better if I put them under some discard pressure, because look, somebody's out there with the king of diamonds and the queen of diamonds. They're probably likely to try and hold on to diamond honors, right? So I thought maybe if I play off some more clubs, since they're not really looking at honors and hearts, maybe somebody will pitch, right?
Good thought. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So I did end up seeing a heart pitch, as it turned out.
Yep.
I don't remember what East played here, but I went ahead and played a couple of rounds. And in fact, I think I actually saw a second heart pitch,
Okay.
which made me feel pretty good about how things were going here. And so eventually, when I started playing hearts and I had seen a couple thrown away, and now opponent's following a couple of hearts, I was able to claim at this point. I think I played 2 rounds of hearts. Let's see here. That's a nice clear signal, right? East wants a diamond, but it doesn't matter. So I ended up claiming at this point. And now, as everybody gets to see the whole hand, here's the truth. I shouldn't have made this grand. Because indeed, West held 5 hearts to the 10-9.
Wow.
So a trump lead is all it takes to beat me on this hand. And West found the right opening lead, but unfortunately for my opponent, once 1 heart was pitched, it was too late. So I was able to make 7 clubs. Maybe I didn't deserve to make it, but earlier in the day I had bid what I thought was a pretty good slam that failed. So call it karma, right?
Yeah. I mean, did anybody else do the same thing?
I don't know how many people bid grand, but one of my partners, not the partner I was playing with on that day, I think had looked at the recap and told me that outside of his table, everybody else who bid a grand made it.
Wow. Yeah. What a cool hand though. That is a fun, amazing hand.
Yeah, and I saw the dummy and I saw the singleton heart and I thought, well, at least we didn't miss a heart fit. But, then with that trump lead, I thought, oh boy, now I need the hearts to break. By the way, thinking for those of you who are defending against a hand like this, if you are sitting West, now that you get to see the entirety of your hand, I hope that on the run of the clubs, as you have to find discards, I hope that you are pitching anything but a heart. And yeah, maybe you don't know that I have 5 hearts, but I would ask you the question with the West hand, is there anything else to keep here? And the answer to that is decisively no. There's no reason to guard your spade because we see king, queen, 5th of spades in the dummy, right?
Yeah.
And if declare has ace doubleton of spades, then the spades are splitting and that suit is always coming in and your jack is never any good, right? So there's no reason to keep a spade. There's certainly no reason to keep a diamond with 3 little diamonds. So on the run of the clubs, there's nothing to hang on to but hearts. And if you just keep all of your hearts, then you're going to be rewarded because I'm going to be down 1 and lose a heart trick at the end here.
But that's great advice because I probably would have done that discard of all those hearts. I would have figured there's no way those hearts are going to help me. Get rid of them. So
exactly. No, they are important here.
Super
and
important.
The footnote to the story, one person who, if you thought my 7 club opening was bold, there was somebody who made a bolder bid than I did. They opened 7 hearts.
Oh,
which got doubled and did not make.
Really? Well, they've only got what 7 hearts in their hand.
Yeah, they have a natural trump trick.
Yeah.
And the person sitting West who told me about that said, hey, my thought was they had nowhere to run. That if they tried to run to 7 no trump, that they were never coming to 13 tricks without the heart suit, which is true.
I mean, you would think no trump would make too, sort of.
So what's really interesting about this hand, and certainly 6 no trump makes.
Right.
7 no trump, if East ends up on lead, and I could see that happening, right? Like, what if you go through some tormented auction where you try to show your clubs and your hearts, and what if North bids no trump at some point? All right. Imagine North declaring 7 no and putting East on lead. What are we leading with the East hand? Aren't we all leading the king of diamonds?
Right. Yeah.
7 no is cold on a diamond lead. If East leads the king of diamonds, you just throw your 6 of hearts from the board. You don't worry about the hearts. You are given a trip to the North hand by the defense, winning your ace of diamonds. And now all you need are for the clubs to divide 3-2 in your home, right?
Yep. Wow.
All right. Well, I tell everyone, don't worry about crafting your bidding system to perfectly show hands like this because you're probably only going to pick this hand up once in a decade, right?
Exactly. But you know what great advice? Because I probably would have bid the two club and then waited for the diamond response. And then we would have gotten into some crazy bidding sequence and it probably wouldn't have been good. So you kind of went with your gut and you made it happen.
Hey, sometimes bid what you think you can make has a lot of merit. So, right or
Right.
wrong, that's what I decided to do this time.
Well, congratulations on that for sure. So I hope, and let me just bring us back here so we can look at each other. But I hope some people have learned a lesson from that because honestly, you're right. Sometimes you don't need that complicated bidding system to make a grand slam like that. That's
And
amazing.
especially if it's a partner you don't play with all the time, right?
Right,
Sometimes you're weighing, bid with your gut versus try to be scientific and risk, some
right.
sort of bidding misunderstanding. Uh,
You
and one thing we can say about seven clubs, right or wrong, everybody understood the bid.
sure did. Well, thank you so much, Curt, for sharing that with us. I'm sure a lot of people enjoyed it as much as I did. So thank you so much.
All right, sounds good. Well, I have
And
another slam for you next time. So let's do
all
this again
right.
soon.
We'll look forward to it. And thanks, everyone out there.